Hello and welcome to today's episode of 3D Drawing for Your Model Railway. Today I'm going to show you how to draw this fast food takeaway restaurant. I'm working from a photograph of quite a large American diner company that you may go in or you may go out for a burger. I can't show you the photos because obviously they're copyright attached, but I'm sure if you Google a burger joint in America you'll probably find some images that look very similar. Going to try and complete this episode in about 25 minutes or so. There will be plenty of jump cuts as I keep referring backwards and forwards to and from the photographs. But hopefully it'll give you an idea of how you can go about creating this building in probably less than half an hour. And it's just really working from photographs and using a bit of educated guesses on some measurements. Okay, to start the model, I'm going to start by drawing the floor plan on the base plane. I'm going to start with just a simple rectangle to start with, and then we're going to expand off of that. So we're going to go 60 mil and go by 100 mil. I'm just taking measurements from the top of my head here. I've looked at a few photos. I've got a few photos I'm referring back to, but I'm going to use this as a base size. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put another rectangle on the front of the building. I'm just going to have this as like the doorway lobby area. I'm going to go for say 25 mil, and then I'm going to come out by 8 mil. What I want is this to be centered, so I'm going to use my midpoint constraint, and I'm going to initially select. You can see how the line's flicking between a short line that goes between these two edges and the full length line here. So I'm going to select the little one and then select the longer one, and it automatically snaps the center of this box to that one. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to draw on the side another little rectangle that's going to be like the takeout window. And I'm only going to come out by 4 mil, and lengthwise I want it to be, let's go for 12 mil. And I'm going to define the distance from that corner to that corner as 38 millimeters. On this side, I think I'm going to have a little cutout at the back here. On this back corner, I think I'm going to maybe, and then I'll put a little doorway in that they could use to bring the goods in the back there. So yeah, we'll go 15 mil by 10 mil. Okay, so I'm going to now extrude these parts upwards. Let's flick that round, and I'm going to come up by I think what let's go 20 mil, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to make like a little tile ridge that I've seen go around the outside of these as well. So again, we'll create a sketch on that top plane. We'll offset the whole of that by 1.5 millimeters, and then we'll extrude those upwards by 3 millimeters, and then we'll do the same again. We'll go back to the original plan, so the original sketch. I can come back and turn that on the base here, and then I can select that profile again, and then if I extrude upwards, I can just come through that top surface, and I'll end up with, if I put join on, I'll end up with like a ridge that goes around the outside there. Yep, looking good. I'm going to come up by 30 mil. Okay, so I'm going to start stepping this top edge out again. So again, we'll create a sketch on the top edge. We'll use the offset tool to make that ring around, and we'll go 5mm again, and then we'll extrude. In fact, actually, cancel that. What we'll do is we'll offset on the inside edge as well, coming inwards by minus 2mm, and then we'll extrude that part and start to create like a flat roof with like a wall going around the outside, and then they can put like the air conditioning units and things like that on the top here. So we'll come up by 2mm, and then we'll create another sketch on the top here. Again, we'll offset on that outside again. I'm going to go 1mm this time. I'm going to select those faces and extrude those up. Okay, so we've got about 3 foot high wall there, and then all the things like air conditioning units and stuff can go on the top there. So happy with that. I'm going to extrude this upwards as well. No, actually, I quite like the look of that with just the roof coming out, so I'm going to leave that there. What I might do is make that triangular here, so there's like a diagonal roof going on there. Okay, let's turn that sketch off so we can't see it. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to hollow the inside out so that you could put seating inside, that sort of thing. So we'll use the shell tool on this bottom face, and we'll come in by 1.5mm. There we go. Okay, yeah, looking good there. Okay, what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to just create a bit more thickness on this back wall here and just put a recess where I want the doorway to be. So I'm just going to spin this round, extrude that wall in a little bit. Might as well snap it to there actually. And then on this front face, I'm going to create another rectangle. 16mm high and 15mm wide. Again, we're going to use that middle constraint again. Snap that to the middle, and then I'm going to reset that slightly into the wall. Yeah, like that. And then we'll put the doorway in there. So we've got a double door on the front here. Again, we're going to use a rectangle again, and let's go for 14mm tall, and we'll go for 8mm wide, again using the middle constraint to constrain that centrally, and then we'll extrude that all the way through. Yeah. Okay, so let's start to flesh out some windows on here now, I think. So create one on there. Again, I'm going to use that rectangle. I'm going to have quite a large window, I think. 10mm tall, and might as well go for 12mm. So define the height. Okay, we'll go for 6mm, and the distance there, 2.5mm. Okay, and then we'll extrude this all the way through. And we'll pattern it over to the other side as well. So a rectangle, pattern that feature. Change that to feature, pattern the feature. And we'll come direction sideways. We want 2 of them. put that there. Yep, good. Okay, I'm going to put another window here, I think. So again, we'll create one here. So a quick look what measurements we had. So if we click on the edge, we can look down the bottom side here. So we've got 10mm by 12mm. Okay, so let's go back into the sketch. So there, define the length as 12, go back into that 8, change it to 10, and then the height was 6mm, that one. And we'll define the distance from the front to be, let's go for 8mm, so it's in a little bit, and then extrude that. We can change this here to all the way through, and it will automatically cut all the way, but it wants to go all the way through to the other side, and I don't want one on that side. So I'll change that back to distance and just do it on that face there. Okay, so next I'm going to put a window in the drive-through here. So let's create a sketch on that using the rectangle again. We'll go for slightly narrow window. Only going to go say 7mm by 5mm. Up to 5mm. Okay, and we'll define the height. That's 6mm, and extrude that through to the inside as well. Okay, how's that looking? Yep, sounds good. I think we'll have another window here, but I think I'll put it at 2. Actually, I might get 2 there. I don't know. Let's go back to this one. I'm going to extrude that, edit the feature. I'm going to come all the way through to that face there. Yeah, I might get another one of them there. Let's have a look. So let's sketch that in here. It's 10mm by 12mm. And then extrude that to the side here. So I'm just starting to look at what's starting to look nice, what you would see in a restaurant, looking at some photos, comparing them. Starting to like the look of that. Okay, so I think the next one I do is I'm going to cut the doorway into the back, or what would look like a doorway onto the back here. So I'm just going to fatten this wall up a little bit. Just extrude that by 1mm just to give it a bit more strength there when I drill out the front here. And then I'm going to draw on that face there a bit of a doorway. So let's go for 13 by 6. And we'll define the distance as 2mm. Okay, then we just extrude that back into the wall slightly to give the appearance of a door frame. 5. And then we'll come on the outside here, we'll create another sketch here on this surface and use that offset tool again. I don't want the tangent chain, I just want that face, and that one. And we'll go negative 0.5. And then extrude this one slightly. mil, probably a bit too far. Just change that to 0.5 mil. Okay, so that's slightly like a door handle on it. Okay, so in Engage, I'm not going to do an overly detailed door handle, just a small rectangle, I think. I'm going to do it upright. I'm going to have it as like a handle that you would pull. So I'm going to go 2mm by 5mm. Now I'll define the height as, yeah, we'll go with 6mm, and we'll go 1mm. No, that's probably too much. We'll go 0.6mm from the edge. And then we'll extrude that forward slightly, so 0.4mm will be fine for a handle, I think. Yeah. It's only a representation, obviously an Engage that would hardly show up really. Okay, so I think I'm going to draw some details on the roof now. So we're going to start with a bit of an extraction system, I think. So let's have like this. So let's go for 10mm by 7mm. Define its position. And we'll extrude that upwards. Let's go for 6mm. Okay, I'm going to draw on this face, I think, some sort of ducting that could come forwards as if it's going over where the fryers would be. So let's create a sketch on that surface. Just drag that rotation out a little bit, and we'll go there. Let's do it 3mm square, and then we're going to extrude that forward slightly, like that. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw on this surface another square, 3mm by 3mm. Yeah. Okay, finish that sketch, and I'm going to use, I think I'm going to try the loft tool to start with, see what that effect gives. So we're going to that profile, take that out so we can actually get it, that profile. So it's going down diagonally. I'd like to try getting a curve here. So what I'm probably better off doing is creating a rail. So if we go cancel out of that, and then draw a sketch on there. Let's try that, delete that, sketch. Delete that sketch, right. Let's try sketching on that surface. And we're going to use an arc. Let's go for tangent arc and go from that corner to, and I'm going to have to constrain that corner to there. I'm going to use this as a rail to run my loft through. So if I go to loft, create profile there to there, add a rail in as that one, and then I get that curved edge, and then click OK. So there you go, that's how I'm going to get that curved effect there. Now, what I could do is another way, is just draw the rectangle, draw a tangent curve on the side, and then extrude across. But I'm just trying to give you options as to how to do that. Okay. What I'm going to do is I'm going to have a fan on the side, I think. So I'm just going to draw on this side surface a circle. I'm going to find the midpoint, 3mm in diameter, and then extrude it forwards only by 0.5mm to give the appearance of a fan. Okay, and then we'll have another air conditioning unit over on the other corner here. Let's just pick something like this and go 3mm by 6 millimeters. Define its position. And I'm going to copy that. And paste another one. I'm going to have 2 of them side by side. Define its position relative to that one. And I'm going to extrude those upwards. Yep, happy with those. Obviously, if you want to add more detail onto these sort of things, if you've got plans or more photos you're working on, I'm just giving you an idea as to how to go about drawing something like this. Okay, I think I'm actually going to go for a different type of extraction fan here as well. So we're just going to start with a rectangle again. I'm going to go for 4 millimeters square. Let's extrude that upwards by 5 millimeters. And then we've got another sketch on top. I'm going to put a circle on top now. 5 millimeters in diameter. Extrude all of those surfaces. And draw on that surface an offset inwards. Minus 1.5. I'm going to extrude into that slightly. And then draw another one on the inside. Again, I'm working from a photograph that I've looked at, 2.8 millimeters, and I'm just going by eye as to what I think looks approximately what it looks like. Keeping that up, and then we'll fillet the top surface down slightly. Okay, so it's looking okay. Right, the next thing I'm going to do is I think I'm going to put this on the pictures I'm looking at as a couple of tent type structures, awnings over these windows. So let's look at doing those. So the first thing I'm going to draw is I'm going to put an offset plane from that face. And then I'm going to create a sketch on that surface. Spin that around so we're on the same side. Okay, so let's have a triangular shape out. Sorry, use a line. Come out by 6 mil, and we're going to snap using the coincident constraint that line to that corner. And let's get the side line. I'm going to do a diagonal coming upwards to there. I actually think I'm going to undo that, and I'm going to put the height from those two. So let's start by putting them horizontally vertically, and then changing the height between the two of them to 1 millimeter. There we go. I think that's what I'm after. Yeah. And then we'll put a line from that point diagonally to the building. Like that. And put a line coming upwards. And then we'll constrain those 2 points together. Like that. Good. And then we'll extrude across the building to that point there and tell it to join. Okay, so I'm going to copy this over using that rectangular pattern, select that feature, direction, only need 2 of them, bring it over so it's in line over here, and click on OK. Okay, and what I might actually do is I'm going to go back slightly. I'm going to make these slightly longer than the window, so if I click on that surface, extrude it by 0.5 millimeters, and I'll do the same on this side, extrude that by 0.5 millimeters. So I've gone back in the history, change that, and then if I go forwards in the history, that does the same change on this side. I should do the same change on this side. Wait a minute, what I've got to do is come back into here, edit feature, and in the objects, select those 2 extrusions as well. Should be able to. So, edit feature. Let's click on that. Okay, let's delete that feature. Try again. For some reason it won't select them all. So select them all. That's it. Directions that way. And we only need 2 of them. There you go. And then, yeah. Okay, how about that? The picture I'm looking at, this window doesn't have these features either, so I'm going to leave that. Yeah, it's starting to look okay. I'm pretty happy with that actually. Okay, so I think the next one I'm going to do is draw this front door in here. So create a sketch on this inside face. I'm going to do the offset tool on the door here. Going to create chain selection. Nope, because it's going to go around the outside. I want to just do the door frame, so I just select the 3 edges here. There you go. 1 millimeter, that's fine. Let's click on OK, and we'll just draw a little line there to there, and there to there to close the edges off, so I can now select them, and then we'll extrude that forwards. So look how that's look like. Yep. Now I'm imagining this door is pretty much made of glass. Like a lot of takeaway restaurants, you get glass with just maybe a metal strip going across the front here. So what I'm going to do is just draw a metal, a band going across the front here where obviously the handle could go. And then I could imagine that you would just lay a piece of clear perspex in behind that to give yourself the illusion of the door here. Okay, so let's do that. Let's create a sketch on that face there. So it's 2 millimeters wide by 6 mm. 2 millimeters. Define that, and the height. And then we'll just extrude this back into the doorway slightly. Probably have a similar one at the bottom actually for a kick protection. So let's just have a small 5 by 6 millimeters. Extrude that in. Again, 0.5 millimeters. And I could just imagine you put in let's say a piece of clear perspex behind here to give you the framing. what you might actually want to do to give you better area to glue to, you draw to this face and then offset on that again, go the other way, so -1mm, and extrude that forwards. That, yeah. And then you can put your perspex behind there, you could glue the whole surface around the outside there. And then have your door. Yeah, looking good there. Let's have a door handle on it. Let's do a rectangular one. And we'll come across here. I'll go 0.6 by 3.5mm. Okay, so define the position of this. Position from there to there, 0.5. And we'll extrude that out. Let's go 0.6. Yeah, it's starting to look good. Actually, I'm pretty happy with this. Obviously, you can go into more detail, add bits of flourishes, whatever you choose. If you've got plans or photos you're working from, that's all the better. But that gives you a nice basic building to start with there. If you've got any questions, please leave a comment below. Otherwise, I'd like to press the like and subscribe button if you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching.